I'm Stephanie Rose. I'm the United States Attorney for the Northern District of Iowa here. This week, communities across the United States joined together to honor and support the victims of crime. This year's theme to the Crime Victims Week is Crime Victims' Rights, Fairness, Dignity, and Respect. And this is a theme that reignites the passion that launched the Crime Victims' Rights movement and has inspired decades-long progress towards the rights for victims of crime. Events like this build public awareness about the realities of crime victimization and mobilize support for expanding rights for crime victims. Joyce Frost is the acting director of the Office of Victims of Crime for the Department of Justice. And she said what I think we all know here in this room, that when a victim reports a crime because an officer treats her fairly, it enhances the safety of an entire community. My office, along with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Iowa, receives nominations every year to honor law enforcement officers who do just that. Honor and treat with fairness, dignity, and respect the victims of crime. Today I'm happy to have an opportunity to publicly recognize one of those officers. Chief Deputy Greg Grover, from the Jones County Sheriff's Department, was nominated by the Child Protective Center here in St. Luke's. He's worked since 1995 for the Jones County Sheriff's Department, and during those years he's worked with the victims of some of our most horrendous crimes, child victims of sexual and physical abuse. In the article, Maltreatment, published in 2009, there's a reference to nearly 800,000 children a year in our country who are victimized in this way. The people who work with these children are some of the most dedicated men and women in our system. They are hard cases to work. They are victims who can't speak for themselves. They are victims whose crimes aren't always solved and aren't always resolved in a way that's happy for anyone. But they are people who absolutely deserve the best that we have, the best officers, the best doctors, the best prosecutors. And so I'm happy here today to recognize Chief Deputy Grover, who's been spoken of by his fellow co-workers and by the Child Protective Center as the person you go to when you want something done right. And there really is no higher compliment that can be paid to a law enforcement officer than that. I understand that we have someone from the Child Protective Center here to speak. Nancy Scheinman, if you want to say a few words about Greg, and then I'll ask him to come up and introduce himself.